Cool Cymru, 20 years. What are your memories of an epochal moment for Welsh music?
20-year anniversary of Cool Cymru. I just have really good memories of it. Kind of in the subsequent years, I've read, some of the people that were involved in that kind of scene at that time. They say, oh God, to be pigeonholed in the Cool Cymru, kind of like in the Cool Cymru banner was like such a wearing, tawdry, tiresome thing, and I'm like, I can never understand that. Just because there was so much good music there. I just remember listening to, Patio Song by the Gorkies, obsessively for a while. I remember listening to Word Gets Around by the Phonics, thinking, Jesus Christ, that's a great rhythm guitar sound, just like at last somebody who plays just really pointed but like skilled rhythm guitar. Obviously, very fuzzy Logic, Catatonia, the list goes on. And basically, people always have this conception that if there's a banner above something, that kind of like it becomes a milestone around their neck. But it didn't have to be, and it wasn't for anybody, I don't think, because they were all writing great songs and releasing great records. And I can't really ever see, kind of such a kind of banner being erected again, above like the Welsh music scene, because number one, people seem wary of it, and number two, you don't really get movements anymore like that, whether it be made up for commercial purposes or whether it's, made up for convenient kind of pigeonholing purposes. All that's by the by. They were just, there were just lots of Welsh bands that were just producing kind of, music, writing and producing music that was commercially viable, as a marketing man would say, but just true to itself, and that kind of perfect storm doesn't happen much.
Brilliant. Prince of Wales Bridge, been a bit of a furore over there. What's your view, James?
My mother was a bit of a Republican, and I am one, and I can safely say we pretty much all are in the band. We are. So just anything connected with the royal family is just not for me. I don't ram that down anybody's throat. It's it's not the name I would choose, to say the very least. I'll just leave it at that.
Okay. When Ryan Giggs was named as new Wales manager, what was your thought on the appointment?
I think the one thing we got to be aware of with Ryan Giggs being the new manager of the Welsh football team is that I think people were still stinging from the hurt of losing, Cookie Coleman as the manager. I think people wanted him to stay so badly. I think people were still mourning the loss of him leaving, because not only did they kind of like look at the achievement of that historic campaign, and not only were they still quite in awe of the team of just missing out on World Cup qualification, but the campaign was still so much better than the things that we've been used to in the past. I think he still had so much respect as the manager of the team that just missed out in the World Cup campaign. So I think once he'd gone to Sunderland, I think there was just a period of mourning. So I think anybody that was stepping into those shoes was just going to get a bit of a stinger. They were just going to cop it a bit. And there's a couple of narratives about Giggsy and all that kind of stuff and everything, and I kind of don't want anything to do with it. I actually just want to get behind him, and I'm not trying to be magnanimous and I'm trying to be earnest, or I'm not trying to be a cheerleader for him, but at the end of the day, in terms of what he's achieved, and in terms of the respect that that he might get back from those players just by the mere sense of that, if they look at him, they go, look, he's been there and he's done so much. Perhaps we should just trust in him and believe him, or just listen to him. It might rub off on us. I think you just got to hope that, and so I'm just fully behind him, really.
Okay. Well, Six Nations performance. I know you're a massive rugby fan. How did you feel when the campaign had ended this year?
It's really weird because it's kind of, when I was watching the England match, you could sense in the last 20 minutes, kind of the English rugby team, they were bricking it. They thought, wow, they could sense that our team were fitter, and we were coming up to them, and we had the try disallowed, and you could sense that kind of like that perhaps the game was about turning its head. And so that was the result that went missing for me, you know. That it felt like fate intervened. You know, that was the result that could have been so much different with just a flip of a coin. And after that, I just started seeing that kind of like what everybody else saw, that we have depth, that we have some kind of strange, you know, kind of like, you know, we have this newfound depth in the team. And I just like the position we're in there. Feels reminiscent of a certain other World Cup campaign where people might take us lightly, and, you know, kind of like, you know, next year's Six Nation, just a few more players might get the push, and they might just go under the radar, and kind of like by the time you arrive at that World Cup, you know, we just might be underestimated again, which is my favourite position for the Welsh rugby team. You know, it's always when we're at our best, I think. You know, I don't care about betting odds, even though my mum was bookie. You know, I like the idea of us just being just kind of like a really quiet, dignified stalking horse. I just think we could just have them. And I gotta say, a year ago I wasn't that positive, but at the moment, it just feels good for me.